Hey friends, thanks so much for being here. Today I'm going to be making 4 little stockings using this outline here and these Christmas papers from my Christmas paper pack. And there are going to be 4 of them, and I'm going to show you what you can do with those little stockings once you have them cut out. Also, I will show you some bonus content, so be sure to stay until the end, and let's get started. So what you want to do is choose your outline. So like I said, you can get these, it's just like a mini paper pack, and there are different items in there. Of course, Stockings had to put that in the paper pack. So I'm going to choose this one. So first step, you want to cut out the outline that you're going to be using. So let me just go ahead and cut this out. And in that paper pack, I have different sizes too. So you can see from the stockings, this is the medium size, and then there are smaller versions of the stockings and the other items in that paper pack. And there's also a large version, which I'll show you at the end. So you can pick your size basically. So every time I make these designs, I think about giving you different size options. So that way it depends on your project. Then you can pick the size that you want for your particular project. So I have my stocking cut out, and I'm going to place it on the first paper. I have 4 different papers here. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is use painter's tape, which is this blue tape here. You can get painter's tape at hardware stores and sometimes the Dollar Tree stores like that. Places like Target would have it as well, and of course Amazon. Okay, so the beauty of painter's tape is it doesn't tear up the design as long as you pull it off kind of slowly. Okay, so I'm going to attach my stocking to the paper. Actually, I just realized I want to pick the right place for this. So I don't know if that was the best place for that, because I want some of the gold. Actually, yeah, I'm going to place it here. So it's going to be a little farther down. Okay. So yeah, there's a tip for you to think about the placement as well, because obviously when I cut out this stocking, whatever design is behind it is what's going to show through. Okay, so now I'm going to cut around this. It's very simple. That's what I like about these outlines. And then when I get to the painter's tape, I'm just going to peel it back a little, or I can cut through it. It kind of doesn't matter. And then what I could do now is just peel this off and attach this around both papers. Okay. And I'm going to do the same here, and I'll do that off camera and be right back. Okay, so I've cut around my outline, and now I can just remove the outline and the painter's tape. Just gently pull on the painter's tape like that, and it won't stick. Okay, so now I have a cute little stocking. Just gonna soften this edge a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna do that with the other 3 papers that I have. and then I'll show you what they look like. Here are my 4 stockings, and again, when I was placing these on the paper, I really thought about where the stocking would look the best once I cut it out. For example, if I only wanted green on my stocking, I could place it right here, but I wanted green and red, so I looked for a place on the paper where I could pick up both colors. So if you use these, think about the placement on the paper, you know, what colors you want to pick up in your design and such. Okay, so now that I have these 4 stockings, there are different things I can do with these. I could hang these up on the wall or on the fireplace mantle, and I do have a larger stocking, which I'll show you in a minute, which might be better suited for that. But for these smaller stockings, I could make a card. So I can take this construction paper and fold it in half. Oops. Okay, and then now I can place a stocking or 2 on here, probably just 1. And then I have Christmas phrases that you can purchase on my website, or you can write Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, whatever you want to do there. But this is a nice little design to put on the front of the card or inside. And you can use the smaller stocking. So I could use the smaller stocking, this one or this one, and make multiple stockings to go on the front with different colors and different designs. So if I wanted to do that. Okay, the other thing that you can do with these is put them on tags. So I have this tag for crafting, so I could pick a stocking and put it on this tag, and now it becomes a Christmas tag. You could even paint this or put wrapping paper on it and then put your little stocking on top, and then you have a cute Christmas tag to put on your presents. And again, you can use the smaller stocking outline, this one for smaller tags, this one or this one, if you have smaller tags. So that's the smaller stockings. Now I'm going to show you what you can do with the bigger stocking outline. Okay, so for this one, I printed out the same stocking that I used before, but I used the bigger outline that's in that paper pack. And I have these 2 dark red papers. So I'm going to apply the same technique. I'm going to cut out my stocking, use painter's tape to keep it in place while I cut around the 2 stockings, and then I'll show you what you can do with those. Here are my 2 large red stockings. 2 ideas that I have that you can do with these are the following. So first one being that you could take some painter's tape and just loop it and put pieces on the back, and then you can stick these to the wall, and the painter's tape will prevent any damage to your wall. That's why it's called painter's tape, because people use it when they paint and it doesn't stick to the wall. So now you have decorations to put on the wall and there's no damage, and it's quick and it's easy. You could write your family's names up here, or your dogs or your cats. So that's one idea, and I will put these up on my wall and take a picture so you can see what I mean and share that with you. So that's the first idea. The second one is to take some construction paper, in this case black, and I could put a stocking on that construction paper and then put this in a frame and then hang that on the wall. And of course I would do that with each piece, and I can have multiple pictures on the wall, or you can set it like on a table. I have pictures sitting on my kitchen countertop, just up back against the wall, and I just add some color to my kitchen. So that's another idea. You could probably string these as well and create like a garland. You could do that with the smaller stockings as well. I'm not going to show you that here, but I might try that on my own and see how that works out. And if it works out well, maybe I'll do a video on that. But anyway, so there you go. There are some ideas of what you can do with simple outlines and some pretty Christmas paper. That's all I have for you today. Happy holidays. I hope you'll come back, and in the meantime, take care. Bye.